Welcome to Girls Who Talk Goals. I'm Kristy.
I'm Natalie.
And I'm Emilie.
We are creating an empowering community where we inspire each other to step out of our comfort zones
And fill each other's cups one conversation at a time.
We're all just trying to figure out life, so let's go on this journey together.
Let's jump into today's episode.
Welcome back, everybody. It is just Natalie and I here today. Our dearest bestie, Emilie, is living her best life in Bali.
She's living the real life you pray love.
She is. We are so happy for her and that she is on like the solo trip of a lifetime.
Yeah.
It's hard to even put into words like how amazing of an experience that is.
I know. It's truly transformational. And we're going to debrief it all when she gets back. But don't forget to tell her happy birthday a day before because they're 24 hours ahead of us.
Yes. So her birthday's on
15.
Monday, actually.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
when this episode is being released.
Yeah.
So even if you do it a little late, it's still her birthday here in the U.S. That's totally fine. Here's just a gentle reminder to make sure that you do it.
Yes. Yeah. So other than that, let's catch up on this past week because we've been bad girls.
The baddest. It's been just a little bit crazy.
It's been extremely stressful. So basically, we had an episode, of course, for you guys on Monday, and it was a recap episode. Emilie was still here. She was just about to leave for her trip, and I just got back from mine and yours.
Yeah.
And so it was just a recap episode. We didn't talk anything deep. It was just funny stories and like girl chat kind of.
Yeah, just catching back up because it had been like 2 weeks since we had all been with each other.
Yes. And we did 2 videos because it was getting to be so long. It was like an hour and a half of footage, I think.
Yeah, which is the longest we've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when I started editing it, I've had computer issues before with my Mac and lack of storage. But I didn't think it'd be an issue. It was, though. And so I started deleting things, and I bought more storage and the whole thing. And I spent hours upon hours editing this stupid thing because there was so much that, in hindsight, we wanted to erase because we didn't like the way it was coming off or saying things and saying people's names that maybe we shouldn't have, or it just wasn't fitting our values looking back after it.
Yeah.
And I think it was for a reason that we could not upload it. So we're taking it as a sign.
Yeah.
Basically.
It just didn't provide anything to like the community and what we're trying to put out. So as much as we hate missing, the mark and putting something out every single Monday because we've been so consistent since we've started this. We have not missed a beat and have been on it. Even like super late nights and staying up until like midnight to edit it.
And to upload it. And
yes.
It's stressful.
We've always got it done.
Yeah.
So it hurt a little, but
I was so defeated. Monday, it didn't export on my computer. And then I just tried erasing like the video. So I'm like, okay, maybe at least we can get the audio version. So we're at least still putting out something.
Right.
And even that wouldn't export because it needed a certain amount, even though I bought storage and whatever. So it just was not going to work. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can use the software on my other computer, my work computer, but that one's super slow anyway with all my softwares. And so then it progressed to later in the week, and it still wasn't up. And here, today's Friday when we're filming this. And so we're like, okay, screw it. We talked about it, and we're like, did you even think it was a good episode when I was editing it? And I'm like, honestly, no. Like, I'd have to re-edit it, and there was so much that we wanted to cut out anyway. And it just didn't align with anything. We didn't have a message. It was just a catch-up episode. And I think it was for a reason, and it brought us back to why we're doing these episodes, what we want to talk about.
Bottom line is that we just always want to be providing something and growing something. And sometimes I guess it's a harder lesson to learn when, you got to go through something for us to realize that it wasn't meant to be with that one. That's okay.
So it's scrapped.
Yeah.
So this one that we are filming now will be up on Monday. So you'll edit it over the weekend.
Yep.
My editing, obviously, is not satisfactory.
Sister needs a new computer. And a lot more storage, but that's okay. That's
First thing, of course, with what we were just talking about of being consistent, we've never missed an episode, like you said, and we felt so defeated because we were so strict with ourselves. Like, okay, this is our vision, like, this is our goals, like, we want to, like, consistency is key. We've said that so many times.
Yeah.
So then when we missed it, it's almost like you miss one workout and then you never go back because, like,
yeah,
you can't get back on the schedule or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so we felt so defeated because
that's never something. We've never even talked about that ever happening.
No.
We are all the type of people, especially with, like, business and something that we're trying to grow together, that we are going to go 110% in and, like, make sure that it always gets done no matter what. Like we've talked about, we'll stay up super late, we'll film, you know, in between things and just to make it work and make it happen always. So we, like, felt the hurt and the letdown for sure.
We were so busy anyway. We're incredibly busy. Like, you're incredibly busy. I came back from vacation and am having, like, a month's worth of work in, like, 2 weeks. And so then you add this on top of it, and I was not in a good headspace most of the week, just with work-wise.
Yeah.
Because I'm, like, so many things to do. And then it just put me in a worse mood because here I'm feeling unfulfilled, knowing, like, I just feel bad. I felt apologetic, and I know we really weren't on our stories either, and we haven't posted, and so we need to get back on that.
Yeah.
And there were just so many things that we started feeling so bad about. I think it's better to realize that, though, because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's what brought up the discussion of this entire episode.
Yeah, we're very self-aware that we are not going as hard as we want to be and posting and doing as much as we want to be.
And we will.
To build our community. So, like, we've taken this as, you know, we're coming together, we're talking about it, that we want to start doing better from this moment on.
The girl chats, like, they're fun, and maybe we can post those as an extra on YouTube or something, just for fun content, but that shouldn't negate or take away from the Monday or whenever, you know, if it's always Monday, I don't know, but the once a week content that you guys are getting out of it, something that we want to share or that we thought of during the week or something insightful to think about.
Yeah.
Because that's what we made this for. We want to talk goals. We want to talk about labels. We want to talk about so many things. And so let's not talk about just reflecting on our lives, because it's fun when you have a community. Like, of course, they want to know more about you. But that can be more on the social media end. That doesn't need to be a whole podcast.
Yeah, and I was talking to Natalie about that episode, and I'm like, it's not like people really want to know. I mean, at least I don't think that much about us, because, you know, we're not the Kardashians.
No, they
where,
don't care.
Like, you want to know all the tea. You don't really care that much about our lives. You know, you're here to get something, not hear all the BS that's going on. And actually, I was talking to somebody, because we didn't post an episode on Monday, and I was explaining why, and they were like, yeah, I really needed that episode today. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that, like, comment just means the world too, you know, that people are looking forward to it and want to hear it.
Yeah. So with that, we brought on the discussion of feeling apologetic in general, and that brought on today's episode.
Yeah.
Part of it, at least. And why do we feel like we have to apologize so much?
Yeah, like, why are you saying sorry for things that you don't need to be saying sorry for?
I think part of it is fear of rejection. And it can be in a relationship, be that personal, professional. Like, you can go into the email side of it or the work side of it, or you can go into personal relationships. Like, previously, I've been in a relationship where it was so much manipulation and gaslighting. Like, every sentence that came out of my mouth was, I'm so sorry, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly.
And also, it fed off because I was at a low point in my life when I was in that relationship, because I think if you think more downly on yourself, you have less confidence, then that shows in your relationships, which I know we've talked about before.
Right.
So then I was just saying sorry, and then when you're saying something so much, you're putting that into the universe, you're feeling it more, and it's just like a cycle that you get into. And I think as women especially, a lot of us deal with that.
Yeah, and then because we're doing that and because we're saying those things and, like you said, putting it out into the world, like, our confidence just trickles and trickles down. And when that's happening, you know, you're not the just best version of yourself or, like, your highest self who you want to be.
For sure. There's no reason. Now, there's sometimes, obviously, you need to apologize.
Yeah, we're not saying never say sorry.
Yeah, don't be like just a bitch.
Yeah.
But
gets into an accident and they're like, you need to say sorry, but it was my fault. No.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
there
what I mean.
is a time and place. But I think on a day-to-day, women say sorry so much more.
Yeah. I was telling Natalie because we were in California and, like, you know, in Illinois, we've got, like, a little bit of Midwest charm. I just feel like everybody's pretty nice. Like, the door will always be held open for you. And, you know, we're just a different type of breed and people, which is a good thing about the Midwest. You go to California, everybody's a little more stiffer, but I honestly like it more. I just feel like people don't apologize as much, and I don't know. They just have a little bit more of a boss energy. That's how I want to be. I want to stop saying sorry. I want to be like that more. I want to stop apologizing and really I feel like I bring, like, a pretty good boss energy, like my job and work.
You definitely do.
But I do struggle in more, like, personal areas of my life that I can work on.
I'd like to say I don't say sorry that much, but I'm sure I do, and you don't even realize it.
Watch, too. From this moment on, be counting in your head, and then you're going to realize how many times you really say it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a self-reflection moment.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see how much I do say it, just day to day. And also with that of using vocabulary, because vocabulary has meaning, and I feel when you say sorry, you're kind of putting yourself down, especially it's like subconsciously. Like, you're not putting yourself down, but I feel like it comes across, like, to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, they're sorry. Like, if I put sorry in a work email, like, I'm so sorry for the late response, blah, 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 blah. Here's the paperwork or something. I just feel like it negates my voice. Whereas instead of saying sorry for the delay, just say thank you. Like, thank you for understanding in the delay.
I love that, and I agree. So on the other side of that, because I sent out an email this week, and my first sentence was, sorry for the delayed response.
Yeah,
like, I've been super busy.
I've probably done that so
and
much.
I'm reflecting back on that. I feel like I kind of weaken how busy I was, because I genuinely didn't have the time to give, like, the thought-driven and data that I wanted to give. Like, I needed to sit down and really think about things and find data for the email for the clients that I was helping. And I'm thinking back on that, and I wish that I would have said, like, what you just said. Thanks for understanding how busy I've been. Here is blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they are going to think less of me now because I said that. You know what I mean? Because it just doesn't come off like... It doesn't come off powerful.
But at the same time, if a man sends sorry for the delay or something, I don't think anything of it.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
Honestly, that could be a whole other discussion of, like, emailing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the amount of exclamation points, and I guess it depends on who I'm emailing. If I'm emailing a girl or a woman and a lender or something, and she's all, I match the energy. I would say that's the biggest tip.
Yeah.
Match the energy. Like, if they are coming at you with good morning, happy Monday, blah, 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 like, I will totally say that as well. But if it's a man and he's more direct and you know him, or he's not using exclamation points and it's all like period this, period blah, then match it.
Yes, and that's just like a good life tip in general, which goes back to another conversation Natalie and I were having before this, is like, sometimes you have to match or, like, change the way you're doing things to help certain people. A client who is a little more misunderstood, a little bit more reserved, and when I met her the first time, I didn't really think she liked me, and then we ended up looking at something else again, and it was just so much better because I found a way, I guess, to get through to her, and then we ended up talking for like an hour, and it just built our relationship up, and now she texts me an entirely different way because I was able to break down her walls a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. I think matching energy is honestly, and that's in any stance, in relationships too.
Yeah.
Like, if you're talking to somebody or in a work situation, just give them what they're giving you.
Yes. Yep. 100%.
Okay. Oh, with that, I was going to say of vocabulary, the importance of vocabulary. And I'm so bad at this. But words like, oh my gosh. It negates so much of our purpose and our value when we're saying like this, like that, which I'm sure has been in this episode because you just do it nonchalantly, and I need to be way more self-aware of how I'm using my vocabulary because there's so much power in it. And especially depending on who you're talking to. Friends, family, it's a different thing. You can be whatever. But if you're like that with your family and friends, then it's obviously just a normal to you, which maybe you need to change. So you can start there practicing. Mm-hmm. But especially in professional settings, I think it's really important to be aware of how you are speaking, of how you're acting, and to come into the room, even like body language and vocab. Body language with your shoulders back and you're coming into the room, like you have the power, you know yourself.
Right.
It's like a subconscious thing, depending on what you're wearing. You can do, there are so many things that you can do for yourself to make you come off as strong.
Yes.
Depending on the colors you wear, depending on your body language, and how your tone of voice is, and your language that you speak.
Yeah, 100%. And, like, even the outfits you wear, too. Love dressing up, coming up like a boss.
Yeah.
That's all I want to be. I just want to be a boss. I love all of those that you just said. And I think everything you said is so true. And that when we say sorry, we lower, like, our self-confidence in ourselves, depending on the scenario and situation. And we need to do a better job of, like, keeping that and building ourselves up.
I agree. So, say thank you. I read that somewhere. Say thank you instead of sorry. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for
taking the time to speak with me.
Yeah, instead of sorry. Sorry this, sorry
Sorry
that.
you spoke with me.
Yeah. Don't negate your self-worth.
So, all in all, we want to say thank you for sticking it out with us over the past week, because as much as we feel like a letdown on not posting an episode, we also are happy that we didn't put something out that isn't
aligned with our message.
Yep.
And our why.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
For sure.
So I know this was very short, but hopefully you got a little something out of it, or just started thinking about how you say things, or I hope you got something out of it.
Yeah. Don't say sorry as much.
Don't say like as much.
Have confidence in yourself.
Confidence in yourself. You got this.
Yeah.
And next week we'll be back with Emilie, and we'll do a little deep dive, which I'm sure that'll be a long episode because there's going to be a lot to unpack.
For sure. I'm so excited.
Me too. So yeah, all right, well, have a fantastic week.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next Monday.
Until next time, bye.
Bye.